Gary Gensler is not just destroying crypto. He's destroying wealth for millions of people across the globe. And he's not even anyone important. Senator, congressman, president. I mean, come on now. He's the head of like a regulatory commission. And this dude is destroying wealth of people outside of the country he has effect over. Oh, and by the way, Ripple Labs is expanding, even though Gary is trying his best to kill Ripple Labs. Healthman 1205 says, everything is manipulated. Nothing you own is going to be worth much. Well, that is kind of depressing. Michael Furbury says, crypto, Mr. Klaus, Gary Gensler was a teacher to SBF, all criminal until we say thank you to them. It will never change, by the way. Thank you. Thank you, Michael Furbury. You know, the whole Gensler, SBF, it's just like a whole circle of just disgusting people. Too much power. Too much power for one person. Okay, this video is going to be about learning. If you don't want to learn, turn it off right now. I mean, there's going to be some entertainment, okay? There's going to be some ha funnies. But this video is about learning. You don't want to learn, turn it off right now. Let's go to the heat map. Well, let's not, because it fucking sucks. All right, here's the deal. Tomorrow, 8 a.m., live stream. What are we covering? CPI data. Why? Because the last 2 months it's gone up. Global macroeconomic conditions need to get better. When those get better, then crypto can move. Fuck yeah, right? So here's the deal. Got report coming out. Data comes out at 8:30. What are we going to do from 8 until 8:30? Well, I don't know. Whatever the hell you guys ask me on the live stream. So join us. But the whole deal is this. Prices are going up. Wholesale inflation rises 2.2% in September. Biggest year-over-year gain since April. So these are the products or the prices that producers pay. So if producers are paying more and they keep passing it on to you, that means you're going to pay more, which means inflation numbers are going to go up. Maybe not necessarily in this next report, but it means in the future, the trend will be up, putting more pressure on Jerome Powell to raise rates. I know, we're getting to Gary Gensler, don't worry. Right now, 91% chance that he pauses. Okay, pause is good for crypto, but then that pushes the decision to December 13th, which that's when they're expecting he would then drop the hammer. Ripple's overseas hiring intensifies. Ripple exec says business is thriving. So they're thriving, they got to hire. But listen to this. Last month, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse unveiled a strategic move, revealing plans to center 80% of the company's hiring initiatives outside of the United States for the current year. Ooh, that's a lot. This decision, influenced by continuing legal dispute with the SEC, is seen as a pivot towards markets like Singapore, Hong Kong, UK, and Dubai. Okay, so Gensler, one person, just has this, just going after Ripple. Let's be real here, and specifically XRP as well. I mean, he's just slamming the whole thing. Okay, let's keep going, keep learning. Brad Garlinghouse says they're out on a global hiring spree. You're like, all right, so where are these job losses coming from? Well, it's pretty bad. A recent report from venture capital firm Electric Capital, and as always, any article you see in this video will be linked in the description below. I told you this is a learning video. Firm Electric Capital shows that the U.S. is at risk of losing out on 1 million Web3 developer jobs and millions of related non-technical jobs. Okay, the related non-technical jobs, so we're talking millions and millions of jobs lost by this guy over the next 7 years if it continues on its path of regulation by enforcement, which is pushing tech overseas. So millions of jobs. The peripheral jobs come like this. Okay, so when the cannabis industry started getting big, right, states started legalizing it, there was a lot of building that was going on. There was a lot of contractors being hired. There was a lot of electricians doing work, right, because they were running high wattage lights and stuff like that. There were a lot of HVAC people because of cooling. Bitcoin, same thing with the farmers. There's a lot of HVAC people. So there's a lot of like other peripheral industries that when these industries boom, it just drums up a whole bunch more work for them. You know, every time they made one of the crypto mining places, there's a whole bunch of fans in there to keep the place nice and cool. The HVAC people, you know how many jobs that impacts HVAC-wise? So all this regulatory issue, I mean, there's a lot to it. You got to run the cable. You need the infrastructure for all this stuff. So, I mean, there's so many jobs. And this is one person. And here's the problem. And we're going to get into the meat of it, okay? The problem is that Gary Gensler is one person, the head of the SEC, and yet his decisions have financial impact and reaches outside of the United States. That's not fair. So, like, I get it. All right? Ripple hiring overseas, that's great. That's awesome. But it's also crushing a whole bunch of jobs. It's also crushing prices. Look at, in the SEC and all that, and they all do all their enforcement action crap. You've seen what the SEC has done to the prices of crypto. We didn't even want to cover it on the heat map today. It was bad. I mean, come on. XLM getting to single digits, XRP 48.5. That's bad. Regulatory conditions matter. That's one person. So this one person is affecting the price of any of this stuff here that you own. And he's not even like part of your country for half the viewers out there. So you're sitting there going, well, how do we fix this? It's actually pretty easy. We first have to realize that one man or woman should not have that much power. They should not be. They're not congressmen, no senators. They're not ambassadors. They're not heads of like multinational global corporations. Like, it's a head of an enforcement division of securities in the United States. And this piece of crap is screwing up jobs, not just Web3 developer jobs, 1 million of those, but millions of peripheral jobs. Lots of utility work out there would need to be done to support an industry boom like that. How many electricians would be getting work? How many more painters? Because, office spaces, all the peripheral office supply stuff, all the orders. I mean, it's just, there's so much that ties into this. The real estate that would be used. So when we think of change and how do we get that change, it's actually pretty easy. We have to change it, right? And how do you change it? Congress would have to act, all right? Split it up to where instead of one person being the head of the SEC, maybe the SEC is headed by 4 people. 2 people with views over here, 2 people with views over there. Hey, look, it balances out. You figure it out. Fight it out. I don't give a shit. But instead of giving one person just power to just destroy an industry global, think about this. For my fans that are in Ireland, Trick, Ben's in the UK. Got a lot of overseas fans out there. Gensler has nothing to do with you. Viewers in Tanzania, Australia is about 11% of you out there. Canada is about 10% of you out there. Gensler has nothing to do with your country, and yet this one guy has so much power, he's able to affect prices like that. That has to change. So to get the change, it's easy. Congress has to step in. Done with the House. The House, they would do that right now. Well, they would, but the problem is now they don't even have a Speaker of the House. So Mr. Bowtie McHenry himself is temporary Speaker of the House, so he's not going to be tackling crypto shit, so that sucks. The other problem is you got a government shutdown looming in mid-November. Okay, let's get through all that. Dems are finally like, look, it's on our plate, we're ready. Nope, sorry, it's election year 2024. Okay, cool. So you got to get a whole new regime in to vote this through. Now, let's say, they are able to find some time to work on crypto policy. I'm telling you it's not going to happen, but let's just pretend. Imagination, right? I don't know, just pretend. I don't know, close your eyes and twinkle stardust, whatever the fuck you could do, okay? Let's just pretend. What would happen then is they would have to go to the Senate. The Senate would crush it. Elizabeth Warren and the Dems are not about to go with anything crypto-wise. Changing regulation of the SEC. They love the SEC. Oh, man, they're always praising the SEC. Maxine is out there. The Shermanators all like, Gary, ooh, sucking on my teat. That's T-E-E-T. Now, that being said, there really should not be a situation where one person who's not someone high up government-wise should have that much power. I mean, seriously, he's not a vice president. He's not a secretary of state, a chair of foreign affairs or anything. He's a head of a regulatory commission of a chunk of markets in the United States. And he's ruining it for so many people. The jobs. And it's not just the tech jobs, as I was revealing to you. These are blue-collar jobs that are mostly getting destroyed by this. 1 million tech Web3 related jobs. Peripheral, all the peripheral stuff, all the support for the industry, all that, blue collar working jobs, retail jobs supporting it. All the hotels that miss out. Whenever there's big construction, hotels in the area fill up. Why? Because the workers need somewhere to stay when they're doing weeks and weeks and weeks of work. That's gone. Like this is just too much for one person. Hopefully today was a way to show you how bad the situation is while being factual, with also showing you how to fix it. The problem is timing, and situational timing is not on our side. And I'm not saying R in terms of Republicans or Democrats. I'm saying R in terms of people that are pro-crypto, like me and you. Hopefully you found this video educational and entertaining. If you did, I wouldn't mind a thumbs up. Hey, look, I waited to the end. I'm not one of those in the beginning that said, give me the like and subscribe now, because, you know, I mean, like, you haven't watched my content, but just trust me. No, dude, see, I waited to the end. That was pretty legit. Yeah, give me a sub too if you don't mind, if you like this kind of stuff. If you're one of those that just likes to dip the toe in the water or lurk, you can lurk and sub. It's free, man. It's totally cool. But thank you, everyone, recently for the support of the channel. I had a duathlon training workout today where I biked and I ran, one right after each other. I got a sprint session to do tomorrow. Whew, got some busy days here, man. What are you cool cats doing? Let me know in the comments below. Anything fun, cool? I'd like to hear from you. Recovery time. Great rest of your day.